finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet.
With one last name left to go here, one last race stands above all. It is time for the season championship for the Joe Sixpack Racing League No Name Racing League Next Gen Cup Series right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I got one. I'm the Crusader Christian Driver joining you guys today here at Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's time to get down to business. It's time to finish up what's been regarded as a long-running race series and a long-running battle from start to finish. Only the best and the brightest can take this one down, and only the toughest will survive out here. So let's get down to business here. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Johnny Barker will be the number 6 is outside. Rob Lowell in the 21. In row 2, David Lamarga in the 34 is outside. Gene Cato in the 8. Greg Drace in the 64 with the 41 of Marty Brown. And then Jeff Barefoot in the 99 rounds out your field tonight. The night lights here at the Next Gen Cup Series shining bright, shining far here at Vegas. And now, with that said mind, it's time to get down to business, get down to the action off our corner number 4. This time on by this truck, the car will lead them off. The drivers will come down around. The speeds will kick in, and it's time to bring the hammer down one more time. 100 laps for the Joe Sixpack Racing League. Coming right around off the first set of corners here. Johnny Barker with the early lead here in the number 6 right at the gate. 21 of Rob Lowell trying to get some speed going here and set in motion. Coming right around. Oh, trouble down there already here for problems. And the number 34, David Lamarga, takes a huge hit off turn number 4 here in the stand with Ukraine. 34 takes a huge hit off that corner. Major damage here for the 34. Thankfully, he does have 2 instant repairs he could use up, but that is a huge hit for him and his team. Let's take a look at the PT instant replay and see what happened here. Take a look at the replay here and find out what really caused this. Looks like the car just kind of snap locked on him. The steering, again, the snap lock steering I always refer to, once again claims another driver. And the 34, David Lamarga, gets way too hard out of control. Could not bear or save the car, and the car just goes for a wild ride. Greg Dre sadly also gets into a huge wreck. He is out of the race. He is not going to be able to continue on. Here's a look at the instant replay on his onboard camera. You can see right there when you watch that 34, once he got loose, he pretty much was in no man's land and garnered up a lot of trouble. Knew that was going to be a bad spot. Greg I gotta believe probably not too thrilled about this one, knowing this could be the last time that we may see these guys here on Pizza Race TV for quite some time, or maybe for a while, and this is not the way they wanted to perform here today. Okay, well, whoa, it's a bit of a tough break there, unfortunately, for Drace, and now 6 drivers remain. Not the way any of these guys wanted to go out like that. So field right now, currently, you're going to get squared back up, put back into the right spots, the right positions here, and hopefully find themselves a little bit of a chance to strike back, strike harder here with the cars. We know in Vegas here, these things like to snap on you real quick on the early starts. You really got to be tempoing and pacing yourself on the gate, making sure you don't get too crazy here. I guess maybe some of the guys might have forgot that out of the gate, unfortunately, though, and found themselves in a really bad tight end there. Well, nevertheless, going into this race today, David Lamarga really was the guy everybody kept their eye on. And really was the one to watch out for all day long. And yet again, he pretty much continues to manhandle that and take that into full effect. And with this race, no matter where he finishes today, it doesn't matter what Barker does or what Raposa does or Drace does, Lamarga is going to take home a back-to-back season championship crown, as David has won the title just by sheer points alone. But the drivers still have to come out here and put up a finish, and that's what they're after. Field right now currently getting squared back up into square one, looking to try to get set up down on the track here and get things ready to ramp up once again. The final race of their season, the final race of this overall big picture, and I believe honestly these guys have put up so much run, so many good showings that really it's been kind of crazy to deal with here. Double file back up. Johnny Barker looking to get a win here today. It would be the first time in a while he's ever won here on Pizza Race TV. He's got a couple wins, though, to his credit. Jeff Barefoot in the 99 has no wins, but would love to change that today, either from Marty Brown. Rob Lowe, though, we do know in the 21 has got the G-Stone Motors number 21 GT Mustang in the victory lane before. And I guarantee you one thing, he'd love to do it again if at all possible. Gene Cato in the A, he's put up some great fights and some great runs before here. Does have a win to his credit, and David Lamarga, obviously the most winning driver out of the Joe Sixpack Racing League. He is what we refer to as the Craig Jansiks, the Robert Kahns, the Parker Whites, and all those top level dogs that have come through our shows in certain leagues and just absolutely go out there with pure dominance in their eyes, pure unalterated speed in their works. It's one of those things you cannot escape no matter where you go. Off the ends of the corners, here we go. We'll bring them around Alpha turn number 4 this time on by, and once again the drivers now prepare to see if they can handle these massive 670 horsepower beasts and see if they can handle themselves as the season is about to conclude here on PT Racing TV with the green flag flying back on out. Time for the green to charge them up. Early advantage to Marty Brown, the number 41, getting a good jump out of the gate here, looking for a big runoff here through the corners. Down the ends, turns they go. Everyone looking for positions, looking for a runoff here as they start to get a little deeper into the drive. Multiple angles to run here at Las Vegas. You can go to the bottom and get the fastest line. You can go to the top side, save your tires up a little bit, but do lose some speed. However, in an intense situation, you can use the outside as a little bit of leverage and actually get a lot of grip up there to actually really make around these guys and make it around quickly. And Marty Brown overshoots his corner into the entry, opens up the doors, and now a couple of guys moving on ahead with Rob Lowe and Jeff Barefoot being those couple guys. And Rob Lowe and Jeff Barefoot colliding in with one another down in turn number 3 and 4. Whoa. Both guys able to recover, but Marty Brown just got a gift and a ticket. Gene Cato got every bounce of them, and David Lomaga just moving right ahead of them like they were standing still, which really you can make that argument they were, but what the heck happened here? Well, let's just visit the replay and show you what happened. Here's what happened to Marty Brown. Overshoots his corner, goes way too far up with some speeds here. I said you could carry the speed, I didn't say you could keep it all the way through. Rob Lowe looked like he was trying to get up close and personal and try to get a run here on Jeff Barefoot, but ends up clipping him anyway, not realizing his shot. And Barefoot gets tagged in pretty hard here and got a little bit of a runoff. Man, just to save it at least though, but that one was a very tough little pill to swallow, I bet you, for that 99. Held up second, then just completely lost it. All because of one little hit and one little tag and nudge there. Around the corners, around the track, here they go. Every single driver trying to find some speed, trying to find some momentum where they can get it. Lowell and Barefoot still still equal on their momentum here, but Lowell is able to get ahead here with the 21 G-Stone motors now. Despite all that damage on that left side, that's going to definitely affect him though, and he knows it. The only thing that's going to help him out right now is that stage caution that's going to help him in the halfway point. But even then, that's not really giving you much variety. That's not really giving you much efforts really to hold up with these guys. You're on board right now with David Lomaga, number 34. This just gives you guys a great example and an idea of how much throttle control, power control, and everything they bring to the table they have to use. There's so much you really have to keep an eye on. There's so much you really kind of keep your focus in with. But at the same time, as a driver, you're not getting too many breaks here with this kind of run, this kind of momentum. And they know it. Johnny Barker, though, with a solid lead and a half here. He is not losing any speed. He's not losing any tempo here. Gene Cato way behind his pace, way behind his track. Now, we've talked about guys dominating before, but Johnny Barker, the thing with him is he's always had a great short run, but he's never been able to really put it fully on together. And that's kind of where I'm a little bit skeptical still. As you can see, even David Lomaga not far out, possibly from making a big jump comeback at him if it comes to that point. And with that stage break too, that does kind of hurt, nullify any of that speed that Barker gets right now, because all it does really is just keep him farther ahead of the field and give him an idea of what he can do later, but still. The pace still strickening, starting to get a little bit more cluttered up as everybody tries to find some momentum, trying to find some grip and ground here. Nobody given any opportunities though to let loose or let off. They've got to stay on their power and stay on the nose if they want any chance to survive around here. Again, there's not going to be too much on the way of hard racing from side-by-side ends. It's mainly just going to kind of be of a single file run for a little while, just until we get to that stage break. So, really anything, this is really kind of a testament to show like what these cars are going up against and what they're dealing with right now. As they just continue to go around the track, you can see tire tracks themselves not burning up too bad. Now again, it is early, so the rubber isn't exactly laid down to create multi-groove, multi-angles. One thing I have been studying and really figuring out with asphalt racing, and Martinsville, last race they ever did there in the IRL was a really good example that I did not even know about, which was when these cars go around these tracks and they start really tearing up their tires, laying down rubber on the track, they actually create multi-lined angles. They create area for drivers to really use up, because once the rubber gets laid down, it makes it a little bit trickier to get speed, get grip off of, whereas when you've got rubber laid on, it makes it a little slippery, it makes it just a slight bit more slippery, and it slows you down just a little bit if you're not careful. Having that outside groove of the rubber laid down, or the bottom groove if you will, allows for the drivers to get another area to really use, while also making it very difficult for folks to keep a hold of the line and keep a hold of the spot if they start to get nudged and get a little bit tagged in. A mile and a half with that rubber burning in, it makes things more coherent, makes them a little bit harder to handle, a little bit more difficult to track down. And speaking of tracking down, speaking of Marty Brown, actually tracking down the defending and now to be soon crowned reigning champion again, David Lamaga. David right now currently getting the stand with Ukraine 34 up on the charge and into position here, trying to keep up ahead of this field. The 34 right now looking to possibly come away with a top 3 podium finish, but right now he's got company here at that 41. Marty trying to put the Ford Mustangs into good shape, good territory here at Greg Drace, was the only other driver out here that had anything other than a Ford Mustang besides Johnny Barker in his Toyota Camry. And the Toyota of Barker is the only one leading it, while Drace left the race due to mechanical problems and mechanical failures. He was not able to continue on. Marty doing everything he can right now to get up there to the 34. Jeff Barefoot right now way too far back and major damage up on his end from earlier, struggling to keep up speed. Rob Lowell in the 21 had some problems earlier on with Jeff Barefoot as he got up into him and then collided down the inside wall protection. Gene Cato and Johnny Barker actually, though, I forgot about this going on. There was a battle actually happening as Cato has tracked down Barker. Barker loses it into the front straightaway here. Cato taking the race lead away, and just like that, things just changed on a dime for Barker. I spoke earlier about that short run. I said it was very skeptical, very sketchy. Well, it got sketchy again, and it's going to cost him another chance at taking the race lead away from everybody for a while. Barker takes loss and has to take his position over. Marty Brown trying to get back up there on the fight, trying to get up there with the 34, David Lamaga. Yeah, Barker right now losing a lot of time here. Cato getting a full length extend here, getting a full advantage of this one as we're approaching about one third of the way through this one. Continuing to march the pace here. Barker losing ground on Cato. Cato has got a pretty good sized lead here on him. But Barker, I guarantee you, coming to that next stage, he'll probably be a little bit more tenacious on his strategy, a little bit more clever on how he boats around the track. Lomaga and Brown have been pretty much locked and loaded on one another here for a good time or two. Gene Cato, though, the number 8, with a serious lead and a half here over Barker, and a pretty surprising effort here, to say the least. I would not have thought that the 8 of Gene Cato had been able to catch up so quickly, but he really caught multiple breaks and multiple chances and multiple opportunities to take full extent. Take a look at our lap times right now here. I'll show you guys how far the Cato completely turned this race upside down on Barker. I remember earlier on we saw you nothing but orange there on Cato. Wow, now that's completely taken up that one. Distances and time travel here is really just kind of getting the best of these drivers, getting the better of the scenario and the situation. These guys know it too. That's why they're trying to be a little bit more easier in, easier on. Flying out the corners here, nothing but speed in ahead of them and nothing but hard charging around. And Mari Brown's run may have been slower down a little bit, may have lost some speed and lost some control here. Now that might be the difference maker, might be a bit of a chance here to really bring out to. So right now, currently, it is still your race leader here of Gene Cato, as he has not given out anything yet. He has not given up his speed or anything like that whatsoever. And really, it's kind of surprising to me that he hasn't had any kind of troubles, any kind of scenarios, or really anything pop up. Just continues to drive around the track and really make no issues with it. And caution out here, of course, now a half stage break has commenced here. Gene Cato with a solid lead. David Lamaga having a great lead as well. Johnny Barker went in a pit road a little early, though. He was trying to time out his strategy, trying to time out his pace here. So with that said, Barker, despite what you may see right now, he's going to be put on the lead lap, and he's going to be put back into a good place here. And that will certainly help out his cause, help out his momentum, and help out the chances of maybe making a big run for this one. So David Lamaga beating out the field here. Johnny Barker, despite his pretty smart little quick thinking pit strategy here, didn't quite make that one out play out so well. The number 6 here, gonna fall back and react and fall back into the run. So Barker's plan may have been backfired here, if you will, no pun intended, to our boys on the Friday night section here, but that definitely didn't quite go according to the shots or quite to the chance he was looking for. I think he was hoping for was he was looking for these guys to give him a bit of a run, a bit of a shot on the arm, and maybe make it a fight to the end, give him something to go with. So Field will get squared back up here and get ready to bring him back onto the track. He'll hopefully look to find some speed and get some garner some attention and momentum here. Quite a few guys right now just trying to strive and survive here. Again, with this being their last race of the season, really it all points down to just win the race and get out of here. They're not worried about trying to win the championship. That's locked up by Lamaga, so which is pretty crazy to think that David Lamaga once again just comes out on top of them all, comes out on top of the best and the toughest that the Joe Six-Pack Racing League and the No Name Racing League had to offer. But You know what? Sometimes when you're good, sometimes you just know you're good. And that is kind of the mindset Lamaga had all season round. Down to the edge here of the legs here. We're going to go down one more time. Green flag gets up in the air, ready to come on down for the boys. We are set to go back to green flag action. Joe Sixpack Racing League continues the season finale. Everybody on the lead lap. So that is one added bonus here. Again, Barker, we saw earlier on, try to make that long run, try to make a very quick little pit stop earlier, make his long run kick out, and it unfortunately did not play out that way. Rob Lowell earlier on also got himself in a bit of a mess, bit of a scrap heat, so now he's trying to fix that up real quick. Barker driving hard on the outside though, with Lomarga taking him to the bottom, trying to preserve tires and watch out for that little snap lock on his steering. Rob Lowell though has no such feelings. He goes straight for the kill. Barefoot, a little loose off turn number 2. Lost control there in the 99, but he's able to recenter off. Barker and Cato having a little bit of a tussle as Rob Lowell gets right up ahead here of David Lomarga. Barker trying to steal Cato's line, trying to steal his run, take him down a few notches here. Down to the pacings, down to the corners here. Every single driver going for it all, going for broke here, trying to find some speed, trying to find some momentum. Late in the run here, it gets extremely difficult to find that speed and that momentum. So really, these guys burning their tires up so quickly right now, it isn't going to help them long run. And they know it too. Pacing the field in still, each driver for themselves. Nobody giving too much, nobody giving too little. They're all just trying to find a half a median, while also at the same time just trying to, maybe in their mind, put up one last little fight for the end. The aim getting credit seems to go towards Johnny Barker on the number 6, but again, how much is he tearing up on the car again? We talked earlier about this. He drives so hard off the start, but he seemingly forgets you got to make the car last. Rob Lowell now also moving up some chains, moving up some positions. There is just no stopping that 21. And that 21 G-Stone Motors is now popping some speed, popping some run. Johnny Barker, though, that short run comes into effect again. Tires burn too quick, and he got a little bit loose. A snap lock steering catches him off guard, and now it's Rob Lowell's turn to take full advantage. The G-Stone Motors, number 21, taking the race lead with Cato right behind him, drafting a hard run off on him. Lowell's got to be patient here. He's got to watch out. If that 8 gets one little leg up on him on the inside, it's going to be very difficult to hang on. A little bump off the wall there for the number 8. David Lamaga just kind of watching on right now. I guarantee you, just thinking to himself, like, these guys keep battling each other out. I might have a chance here to actually take this one away from them. Easier said than done, though, especially considering what you have on your competition level and over the competition stage. This amount of driver heated confrontation and everything they bring to the table here is absolutely stupendous. When you're trying to roll the dice, though, and gamble your way up to the front, then you got to make a big move off to take full aim at it. And it looks like trying to recoup his losses and trying to recoup some of that money he lost earlier on. Rob Lowell and Gene Cato are still in a fever pitch battle as they go side by side, both drivers doing what they can to try to keep it in charge. Lamaga looking on from behind, though, looking to kind of sneak his way in between. We've got a battle for the race lead. Johnny Barker even also coming back up on the fight. Gene Cato. Whoa, what has happened to the number 8? Lost a lot of ground time there. I don't think he got loose off there. I don't know if he backed off or lost control. I couldn't tell from that angle. I don't think he got loose off turn number 4. Whoa, well, that part I do know now what happened to him. Johnny Barker way too tight, goes into the wall off of turn number 2. Lamaga now looking to try to sneak one up on the number 21. There you can see Rob Lowell trying to hang on. Rob is literally having to fight, secure, conquer, and strive to be on top here and really take this one to a whole other level. The difficulty at a fever pitch, at a hard level, and at a high level of racing ordeals. These guys know they cannot give in. They cannot give up. And Lowell sounds like he might be starting to back off the throttle a little bit. Might be trying to preserve the fuel line underneath there. Final legs of this race here. Lowell trying to get up there on that 34 of David Lamaga. Lamaga trying to maybe make a last minute charge and last minute ditch effort here to get passed on by. You can see both guys just continuously driving it hard off their ends and hard into the corners. Neither one wanting to give an inch to the other. Laps continue to bolster down and drivers continue to strap down even tighter than before, looking for any kind of help they can get. Lamaga, ooh, getting pretty close to Cato though. Came off that end, that turn number 3, and an exit in the 4, and you saw him really making a move for it. Either guy getting out of that mess and getting out of that problematic zone, almost taking quite a run there. Cato right now backing into a corner here, putting Lamaga up top side now. Has no choice but to just fight it out with him as Rob Lowell continues to hang on to the race lead with only 40, now 39 laps remain. Both guys in a heated collaboration. Both guys really on the nose, on the bumper here of one another. And Lamaga managing to make another jump charge around to that aid. And Cato falls back into place once again. But it's Rob Lowell, your race leader. The D-Stone Motors number 21 still with the fight in the half here, continuing to mark down the charge with the Ford Mustangs. Johnny Barker going into pit road looking to try to cement the fuel lines and try to get some good speed for later on. He knows these guys had to go into pit road later. That was his strategy, that was his plan. That's the reason when we saw them earlier on, they went into pit road during that first caution. They needed that extra little split of fuel, that extra little split of momentum to get through later on. That was the difficult and most challenging part of it in. Moving down the charge, moving down the phrase here. Gene Cato and the number 8 and the 34, David Lamaga here, still hoping for some run, hoping for some momentum to keep it through. All is in order, all is on pursuit here. Every single one of these guys currently just trying to find a leg up, trying to find the momentum here. But again, it's so difficult to really keep up position, keep up the pace. Cato knows this. And Rob Lowell heading into pit road now. He'll have to get squared away. Gene Cato right now also in a bit of a fight, bit of a frenzy here, trying to get going with this one. And now Cato going into pit road here, getting squared away here for him and his crew. Cato right now currently just, I gotta believe, a little bit annoyed that he had to fight so hard with Rob Lowe and David Lamaga, knowing that he was trying to get so much speed, trying to get so much distance and travel gained here, but it got a little bit crazy here in the later half of that run. Coming around the distances, coming around the planes here, every driver for themselves, still nobody has been able to really garner that much run, this much attention here. And they know it as much as anything. Top three have been in a heated category here, have been a heated battle here for supremacy and position and control, but it's really just been boiled down to those top three, Lowell, Lamaga, and Cato. But Lamarcker had a slight little swivel there. A little bit of heat in there and really put some momentum in between. Did not quite get the attention, did not quite get the speed he was looking for though. Barker and them all falling back behind the waistline yet again. Every one of these guys just trying to find the last minute speed, last minute motors they can really stir up, really bring to the table here, knowing this race is coming closer and closer to the very edge of this finish. It's been a hot fight and a bit of a hot dog race here for these guys. And they know that they had to keep up with the distance, keep up with the controls. But when things got a little bit more rowdied up and a little bit more crazy on the ends, they knew it was going to be a long run from there. But thankfully, everyone with the same respect, the same ideals and complexity that they bring out on the track here, as much as they bring into their real life scenario counterparts, are able to keep themselves at a distance, at a pace, and ensuring a lot of fun activities, a lot of fun racing, and that's why the Joe Six-Pack Racing League definitely is going to be one of those groups you just got to keep your eye on. You got to go for it when time comes. Final legs of this race here right now. Jeff Barefoot is your race leader, and honestly, right now, looking at his pit road strategy, he went in pit road at a lap on 41. I think he's just kind of driving out here for giggles here. Not saying he's bad. Not saying he's a bad driver or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's trying to really get too fast, too furious. I think he's just trying to make it outlast the entire field, the entire run and duration, but it's not going to work this time. Barefoot has to go into pit road this time by, and Rob Lowell is looking to take that race lead away from him now. Gene Cato trying to gain some ground, trying to gain some footing on Rob Lowell, though. You see the time starting to separate him out, but not by much, though. Kato is getting a good little deal of speed, little deal of excellence. Runs off here on Lowell, and Lowell knows with only about 20 laps to go. Now things could shift in his favor. For David Lamaga, a bit of a distance to travel. He's going to have to gain to get in this one. As he went in at pit road on lap 70, and Kato was on 71, Lowell was on 70, so one extra lap could make the difference here between these drivers, and they know if they are not too careful, that could very well be the case. Jeff Barefoot finally out of pit road. Everyone else trying to hunt down the rest of the packs, trying to hunt down drivers when they can here and see if they can get anything going for themselves with the laps winding down. 19 will turn into 18 to go as the 21 brings it right off the corner edge. You can see everybody just trying to charge up and get some speed at them. Kato doing everything he can just to get one extra little kick up, one extra little boost to run. He's not getting all of it though, and he knows it. So much distance and traveled still left to go though, even though it may not seem like much, only 16 to remain. And again, that doesn't mean anything with these next gen cup cars. It only takes one lap and everything just completely goes flipping on you. And the last thing you want to see is get flipped out or get taken to your extreme point. Gene Cato right now still in the second place spot. Rob Lowell holding down the race lead. Neither guy wants to give an inch. Neither one wants to give it up. But it's still so difficult right now just to hang in there and really take full advantage when you can. These guys know it. That's why they're trying what they can do and trying to get what they can get out of it here. 11 laps left to go here, and right now Cato is falling further and further back. David Lamaga trying to make a bit of a comeback here, but that's not enough time. Rob Lowe looks like he has got this one locked up for a final run here in a final leg of the race. Again, there's so much writing on the wall, so much at stake here for these guys. And really, you know, the thing is, so many drivers gave so much up for this race and for this time to come out here and do this. And it's just wild to me to see how far they went and they would go if it meant to strive and conquer and be the top dog of them all. Well, Jeff Barefoot right now getting up there at David Lamaga speed now on his level, but it still just isn't enough. With 8 laps left to go, this race is all but sealed unless Rob Lowe makes a big mistake. Cato has left too much time on the clock. David Lamaga, he's going to give it everything he can on this final leg, but it's just not enough. He'll come away with the season championship, which is something I think he can at least say he's proud of and he can be happy with. But I almost have a feeling that here in Vegas, he wanted to roll the dice a little bit more than just that and take one home for him and his team. All in all, though, it has been a tumultuous season and a final big leg of the race here for every single one of these guys and drivers out here, putting on a final battle, putting on a final show here for all those in attendance and all those watching at home. What a crazy time, what a crazy series it has been, race fans, to say the least. 6 laps remain. Well, there is one little bright spot, though. I guess you want to call a final battle. Marty Brown and Johnny Barker having a little tussle here. Barker, I can tell you right now, is struggling just from that turn alone. I saw those wheels locked up, just trying to get that 6th turn. Not the same issue for the 41. Marty Brown makes Barker's strategy look inferior to his and takes full advantage of it. And the Slip Ya Mama 41 gets right up ahead and takes full on advantage here as the 6 of Barker could not hold him down. If anything, I feel like Marty Brown's kind of the unsung hero of the battles earlier. He was the guy that came out here and he just did what he needed to do and tried to hold up the speed, trying to hold on with a fight. He gave it a good effort for all he did. It just would not be enough. As the number 21 brings it right around off the corners here down to the final legs of this race. This Mount Avalon track has been known for some great moments, some great speed, some great times, and some great action here, and it certainly goes without saying, it definitely has deserved its reputation as being one of the kind of gambling style tracks here. It's obviously been the home of Sin City, but for these drivers, their biggest sin was just counting the lights and counting the stars, as Rob Lowell just completely took them away here in stage number 2, the final stage, if you will, and the final race of the season. Two laps to go, and the 21 of Rob Lowell. What a fever pitch race and a fever pitch day it has been for him and that crew. Jeff Barefoot, give credit where credit's due to the man. He came out here and still put on a run, still came out here and raced. That's more than I can say for a lot of folks, unfortunately, these days. He did not give out, he did not give in. But unfortunately, here in the show, That doesn't exactly give you race wins or give you the podium positions, but for Barefoot, I guarantee you, eventually we'll see him back out on a racing surface, and we'll keep seeing him out here trying to handle with these guys and deal with them on a nightly basis. White flag is out, though, for the final legs. Rob Lowe can at least come away knowing that he had himself a pretty good day and a pretty good race as Johnny Barker stays down low of him. He makes his way up on the top center in apex it off the back straightaway. And one more time in the 21 G-Stone Motors Ford Mustang, Rob Lowell will come across the stripes. He's going to win it here at a turn 4, sends it to victory lane. Rob Lowell will be the winner, but your season champion is going to come into that third leg in the third run. David Lamaga goes back-to-back and season titles. Rob Lowell puts up another impressive performance and another impressive showing. And this time, everything finally comes together in a peace and harmony position. Taking full aim and full charge of this one, and I guarantee you he is extremely happy about that as Johnny Barker ran out of fuel. Good, look at this, show of respect here from the boys. Cato and Lowell, they're going to push him all across the finish. They want to get him across that finish line. They'll push him across the stripe. And Rob Lowell will put it up on the front end while Lamaga does his donuts and burnouts. He's going to win the title. But Rob Lowell and his whole crew, his whole team, will park it on the front straightaway for one last little love. Alright, it's time now to show our final results here now on Pete Series TV. Rob Lowell, the victor. Cato goes second, the season championship crowned to the 34, David Lamaga. Marty Brown goes fourth, fifth, Jeff Barefoot. Johnny Barker goes sixth. Greg Jace ends in seventh. And now, race fans, one last thing to do. It's time to talk with our drivers and talk with the field and finish this night off. We'll talk in the order that we bring them in. Just awaiting the command and the cue from these boys, looking for them to come on down to the track, come on down to the surface here. And it is time to talk with the season champion himself, pulling off all the stops, putting off all the wins. Your season champion back-to-back is going to be David Lamaga in the 34. David, congratulations on that one, and what a long, long road it has been for you and the crew.
Yeah, thank you very much, Christian. It was a tough season. You know, it was very hard fought, and then you know, all the guys at the end of it didn't really make it easy either. So yeah, it was a fun season. It was a good time.
It was a good time. It was a good showing again for you and your team, really pulling off all the stops, having to bring out the best and the brightest of your crew. Going into the night, obviously the points were locked up for you and the team, but with Rob Lowell and Cato and you having a bit of a battle there in the last bit, I mean, I gotta say that was probably kind of the best way to go out here with a title, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to go out racing. I'm not one to just go out on points and that. So I wanted to race and, you know, obviously want to win. So, but yeah, I screwed up the green flag pit stop. I sailed it through my pit lane and gave Rob a huge lead. I was just trying to stay behind him, waiting for him to pit, because I was debating whether or not I was going to pit a lap early or wait and pit with him. It was kind of a double-edged sword, so I was waiting for him to pit, and then I screwed up the pit stop. So congrats to Rob on getting the win. And what was it? We got Gene Cato in second.
Yep, Gene Cato in second, you taking third, Marty Brown and going fourth, and Barefoot in fifth. And at the end of the day, that's quite a showing from this crew and this team. Congratulations, though, on that season title here at Lamaga. So with that in mind, back-to-back seasons and a crown to be had, who do you want to thank for all of this?
You know, I want to thank my wife first and foremost, as always. You know, she's always with me all season long, dealing with me, you know, ups and downs of racing. So, you know, big thank you to her and the support, and her being a cheerleader as always behind. And then thank you to my parents for watching. I think they're most likely watching. They kind of always tend to tune in for a little bit and take a look at it. And thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to my teammates, Mike, Al, Rob, and my brother, John. And then thank you, to Rob Lowell and all the guys who, help keep the league going, everyone who's participated in every single race this season. Big thank you to everyone who's shown up every single weekend. And thank you to, everyone who showed up this weekend. Again, we have a good core group of guys, and I'm excited to see what season 5 brings. We got some recruiting races coming up starting tomorrow. And it's exciting. I'm ready. I'm ready for season 5. Hopefully it ends the same as this one did, but you never know. So we'll see what happens.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, David, congratulations on all this, and one our season title has been crowned under your name, sir.
Thank you very much, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Lamaga, your season champion once again. Back-to-back titles for him and his crew, as now Rob Lowell comes away here in victory lane here in Vegas, that is, at least. Rolls the dice and gets himself a nice victory and a half to end out the season on a high note, sir.
Yeah, listening to Dave's interview, I overshot my pit too, the last pit stop, and I had to back up into it. So we both made the same mistake there. That's interesting. Yeah, I just tried to hit my marks and have a clean race there after the comp caution. Dave fought me pretty good there in that cycle right after the comp caution before our final pit stop. And then Gene got up there and gave him some pressure, gave me a little breathing room, let me get out there. And then I knew what lap I wanted to pit on. I wanted to pit on coming to lap 71. So stuck to the game plan, and I got through 3 and 4 pretty hard, and got it wound down and got in and felt speeding. So, and then just got out and just focused on hitting my marks and not making any mistakes.
Yeah, making some mistakes here or there. I know there was a lot of hard racing in between from the good chunk of that and the bit of that backpack as well. You and Barefoot got into a little bit, and I thought honestly that may have been kind of the sealed deal of your race. But yet, once you got into the finale, then you took full advantage here in that stage, and that's where all the speed came back, didn't it?
Yeah, so I contemplated. Jeff and I got together there, and he's my teammate. We're on Discord together, and he didn't hear his spotter say I was in there, and it's a racing deal. It happens. And I went a couple laps, and I said, okay, I'm about a second off. I'm turning like 31.5s. They're turning 35s, 30.6s. Knew we had like 25 laps to comp caution, so I'm doing the math in my head. Say I shouldn't go a lap down. And then I also knew that with the damage, I wasn't going to be hurting my tires as much, and that they were going to drop off like a 31.4, 31.5. And as the run went on, I stayed like a 31.8, 31.7. So I knew I wasn't going to go down a lap. And then somehow with the pit cycle, a bunch of us went down a lap. And I don't understand it because we pitted. It said pit was open. And it put us laps down, which made 0 sense. So, there was out of 6 of us racing at that point. 3 of us were admins, and there was a quick decision to make. Hey, this didn't. There's a glitch here if I racing. So, did a wave around to get everyone back on the lead lap, so we could actually have some good clean racing, and that was it.
That was certainly it indeed, and it ends up walking you away here with a final victory and a final race win to end out the season and end out everything on. So, with all that said and done, and you're coming away with the final win here, my friend, who do you want to thank for all of this?
I want to congratulate Dave Lamaga on his championship, back to back, and he doesn't points race. He's out there racing hard every lap of every race, and he's worked on keeping the lead together, moving it forward. We have a pretty aggressive recruiting schedule stacked up here for the next 4 weeks. And we look to, get going back in the first week of June. So I want to thank Dave. I want to thank all the other admins. I want to thank Greg for letting us use the Joe Six Pack name going into next season and for this final race. And we will get the next month, get some more cars in the league, and we'll be back.
For sure.
I want to thank my teammates. I want to thank my teammates at Wolfpack Racing, Johnny Barker, Gene Cato, Jeff Barefoot, Greg Drace. you know, we've all started running up front the last 5-6 weeks, and that's just from the team aspect of it. We practice 1 or 2 nights a week. We make sure we run the practice race together. Um, we compare notes, you know, in practice and after practices, what worked, what didn't work for us, what we're running for race in line, what we're running for steer and settings, um, and the performance gain over the last season really shows for all of us. So I want to thank them guys. Without them, I wouldn't be winning races.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, we are Rob. I know this one meant a lot to you and the crew, and a big win there, to say the least. Congratulations on all this, sir, on the final race this season.
Thanks, Christian. And on behalf of the league and everyone in it, I want to thank you and PTM Racing TV for all you've done for us this season. I know it's had its up and downs, but you've stuck with us, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We always stick to our guns and stick to our trolls, and that's the way we do around here, bud.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Lowell comes away with the final race win of the season here, and that's really going to be all that is here for tonight's action here, race fans. What a day it has been, and what a time it has gone down to be. From all of us here at PT Race TV, thank you so much for tuning in. And from all of us here, we have some best of races coming up. Soon there will be more action, more competition. We got 2 more to come. Stay tuned.